Hey y'all, I'm Tammy, and this is Colored Valley Cooks. We are making old-fashioned mac and cheese today. Let's get started.
All right, I'm going to make an old-fashioned mac and cheese today, and you're going to make a cheese sauce and pour it over your macaroni. So what I want you to do is pick your favorite cheeses to make your macaroni and cheese. We're going to use some macaroni noodles, get them cooked. 1, 2, 3 cups. To make the cheese sauce, you're going to start with butter, and you're going to melt your butter in a pretty large skillet because we're going to be making a lot of sauce. Then you're going to use your flour, and I like to sift mine because it makes it smoother and lets your gravy be less lumpy. So I prefer to take mine through the sifter. And now I'm going to add a little black pepper. That's always good in gravy. And then we're going to add just a little salt. So what we're doing really is making a white gravy, and we're going to brown this flour and let it cook a little bit because flour is raw. And then we'll add our liquid. Now, you need to equal part flour to equal part butter to make this macaroni and cheese.
Y'all, I didn't have my microphone on, so I'm going to have to turn the volume way up to see if you can hear my voice when I edit. But anyway, we are making gravy out of the same part as butter and flour. We've added some black pepper and a tiny bit of salt because there's a lot of salt in your cheese. All right, once that flour starts to brown, you're going to add your milk. And you're going to bring it to a boil. And it's not going to get real thick because once we add the cheese, that'll make it thicker. We've got our pasta over here boiling, and we're just making it per the package directions. Going to boil it about 9 minutes or so. There are so many ways to make macaroni and cheese. Some people just put the cheese in with the macaroni and they don't make a sauce like this. I have about 3 or 4 different recipes on mac and cheese, and I prefer to make it the old-fashioned way, which is to make a gravy and add the cheese to it. The reason I like to do this is because the butter gets incorporated into the creamy cheese. And a lot of people just throw butter in their macaroni and cheese, then they put in their cheese, and it just makes it separate and doesn't stick to the macaroni good. To me, this is the best way to do it, okay? All right, we got about 4 minutes on the macaroni noodles, and by then this should come to a boil. Then we're adding our cheese. Now, okay, these were buy one, get one free this week, so I bought them when they were on sale. And this is a mac and cheese shredded, and it's a cheddar and a Vermont sharp. Then we also have a creamy Havarti cheese that we did great a while ago. This is starting to warm up pretty good. This old-fashioned macaroni and cheese is in our 3rd volume cookbook. It's on page 116, and I have had a few of y'all want me to reference the cookbook and the number that it's on when I do a video. So I hope you have our cookbooks. If you don't, I'm going to encourage you to get them. Now, for some reason you can't afford them, if you buy through Amazon, they're a little more expensive, but you can put them on a payment plan through Amazon, okay? So you could pay $10 a month. So that would be great. I would love for you to get our cookbooks and help support our show. I don't push them a lot, but I'm pushing them today. I made these all by myself, didn't have anybody to help me, and I created these in a Word document. I made them large print, and there's only one recipe per page. I made the paper is nice and thick, and so it should last a long time. They're spiral, so you can flip them and cook with it easy. They are just really good cookbooks. Now, remember that if you go to the website, you can go to Southern Recipes
and pick this out under Southern Sides
and print it for free as well. I do provide our recipes for free, because not everybody can afford something, all right? Because I love you. All right, now it's thick. We're going to turn it off. Looks pretty. And remember, you don't want it real thick because your cheese is going to add a lot of thickness to it. Now there's our cheddar going in. Talk about a good mac and cheese. This is it, y'all. All right, I'm going to put my Havarti in here. Some of the pieces are bigger, so you need to make sure and let it melt in there, okay? Get it all. Just make sure you turn off your burner so that it's not still cooking, because it's plenty hot to melt the cheese. So turn the burner off when you start adding your cheese in. Looks pretty. Oh, our noodles are done. I'm going to add just a little bit more cheese to that, but let's get our noodles out. Stir them up good and make sure they're separated. And then we're going to pour them over here in this strainer. Make sure you use pot holders and don't get burned. Lid's in the way. I like to squirt out my pan when I get them out because it's got all that starch in it. I just like to wet it a little bit. Now let's get back over here with our cheese. I am trying to think about what I want to do. I want it to be really cheesy, okay? And what I think I'm going to do is go ahead and add this mac and cheese, shredded cheese, and then we'll get out some Mexican shredded cheese to decorate the top with, because I want to have some orange on the top. We want it to be super cheesy. Super cheesy mac and cheese. All right, make sure you spray your dish because it's cheesy cheese. Now these right here are amazing. They're a little pricey, but I'm going to tell you, they're worth every penny. They're easy to clean up. We're going to put our pasta in here first. I probably should have done it half and half as much as I got. All right, now we're going to put our sauce on top of it. Pull this over here. I couldn't have made it any bigger. Now I'm just going to stir it up a little. Now, if you want to, you could stir it up in a pan and then pour it in here. I just didn't have anything that big handy. And remember, this has got a little extra in it, so when you make it by the regular recipe, it's not going to quite have this much. It's about a recipe and a half, really. Boy, it's got the cheese in it, I can tell you that. And the more orange, it would look more orange if we used more cheddar, but we used mainly creamy cheeses. So it's just as cheesy, it's just not as orange, okay? All right, you're going to top it with cheese and you're going to cook it 40 minutes. And this is something that really needs to come out of the oven about right when you're ready to serve it for it to be really good. And remember, it's got plenty of butter in it. It's just in the gravy, which makes it really good. So there you have it, our mac and cheese. We're going to get it in the oven. If you don't want your cheese to get brown, you can turn the oven down to 325 and bake it 40 minutes. But if you don't mind if your cheese gets a little brown, you can leave it at 350. All right, we'll see you in a few minutes. Oh, I'm cooking up a feast, and it's time to get out the mac and cheese. And it smells cheesy. Looks bubbly. Let's get us a plate and see how it looks on a plate. Hey y'all, I'm Tammy, and this is Colored Valley Cooks. We are making old-fashioned mac and cheese today. Let's get started. All righty, let's give it a try, y'all. All that good old cheese we put in there, it ought to be delicious. Tastes just like my mama's. Y'all have a good day, and we thank you for watching Colored Valley Cooks, where we cook like Mama did. We'll see you next time. Love ya.